I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. Warren Buffett. Buffett does enjoy being a billionaire, but in offbeat ways. As he put it, though money cannot change your health or how many people love you, it lets you be in more interesting environments. Roger Lowenstein. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. The main obstacle to further progress on the resource curse is China, and to a lesser extent India. George Soros. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Thomas Edison. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. Mark Zuckerberg. Money flows to people who respect it. Treat every dollar like it's related to a billion. Hendrith Smith. You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. Steve Jobs. If you want to be successful, you must be willing to do the things that others are not willing to do. Jeff Bezos. Success is not measured by what you accomplish, but by the opposition you have encountered, and the courage with which you have maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds. Orison Swett Marden. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Steve Jobs. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Will Rogers. It's not about money or connections, it's the willingness to outwork and outlearn everyone. Mark Cuban. The biggest mistake people make in life is not making a living at doing what they most enjoy. Malcolm Forbes. Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. Bill Gates. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Steve Jobs. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Steve Jobs. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Confucius. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Franklin D. Roosevelt. If you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. Anonymous. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. Vidal Sassoon. If you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. Oprah Winfrey. Don't watch the clock, do what it does. Keep going. Sam Levinson. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Steve Jobs. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. The key to success is to focus our conscious mind on things we desire, not things we fear. Brian Tracy. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that make me rich. Unknown. Success is a journey, not a destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome. Arthur Ashe. The more you know yourself, the more clarity there is. Self-knowledge has no end. Jiddu Krishnamurti. Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. John D. Rockefeller. The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. Warren Buffett. I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. Estee Lauder. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Alan Kay. The only source of knowledge is experience. Albert Einstein. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. Henry Ford. Your time is limited, don't waste it living someone else's life. Steve Jobs. The successful warrior is the average man, with laser-like focus. Bruce Lee. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Albert Schweitzer. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Malcolm X. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Socrates. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Ralph Waldo Emerson. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny but in ourselves. William Shakespeare. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Rosa Parks. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. Mark Zuckerberg. Believe you can and you're halfway there. Theodore Roosevelt. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Zig Ziglar. Opportunities don't happen. You create them. Chris Grosser. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. If you like the video, please subscribe us. Thanks for watching.